Hi, everyone. Welcome to another interview with one of our funded traders. Today, Ignacio is with us. Welcome, Ignacio. It's very nice to have you here. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for inviting me.
You are very, very welcome. Let's just dive right in because I'm really curious about your journey. I've seen your payouts. I will show your payouts, but it's pretty juicy. So I want to start right away. Can you start by introducing yourself a little bit, like where you're from, how old are you, how long you've been trading?
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm from Spain. I'm 27 years old, and I've been trading for around, I'd say, 4 years. I mean, I've always been interested in stocks since I was like a teenager, looking into the stock market and investments, etc. But actively trading, like trying to pursue like a career in trading or trying to take it into the next level. It's been around 4 years or so. Yes.
That's nice. Like, you're actually in a good age. You're young. You found out trading when you were 23 around, right? And what made you switch to Forex or other markets, leaving stocks behind?
Yeah, I began with stocks because it was just like the maybe it was when I was 16 or 17. It was just what was around that what I could read or on the news or even on newspapers, but and it kind of interested me a lot at that time, but I never like tried to dig in too much. And after that, like 4 years ago, I began with crypto because was like it was everyone talking about crypto.
Who didn't?
Yeah, it's like, okay, how do you begin? So I began with crypto. And at the beginning, it wasn't like an intraday trading style, but it started like to I started to like it more and more. And soon enough it became like something that I really 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 enjoyed, spending time on the graphs and looking into price action and different cryptos. And well, yeah, you begin with crypto, then you get a little bit tired of it, and you start to look into other markets. And yeah, and after that, I just right after crypto, I began with Forex, like after year and a half or 2 years trading or so.
That's good. Stocks are kind of an interesting topic for a 16, 17-year-old. So I'm really curious, like, did you follow that passion? Did you study economics or finances in university or something?
Yeah, I actually did
You
not
did?
really. Yeah, I did business administration and marketing. So not really. What interested to me the most was like um, yeah, at the beginning is the money for a lot of people. It's like that flashy lifestyle that you get to see on movies or you hear about. So it's like, hey, this seems like kind of cool. But when you begin, like, even if I didn't trade anything, but you think something's going to happen and it doesn't happen, so you start to realize it's pretty difficult. It's not that easy. So you get a little bit, "Oh, okay, this maybe is not for me, or maybe not for me right now." So time passed, and crypto started like to become like really really mainstream. And yeah, after that was when I just came back. And actually sometimes I look into stocks, sometimes just for fun. But I feel I'm much more closer to an intraday guy right now. And a lot of stocks don't really appeal to me anymore. So yeah.
Okay, I understand that. And how was your switching process from stocks to Forex or crypto in terms of reading price action? What were the differences between these markets, and how did you teach yourself how to read the charts?
Yeah, it's funny because I always tell people like trading is like it's like a path that everyone works, and everyone's path is looks like a lot to each other. I mean, everyone works a path that is pretty similar to one another. Sometimes it may take 1 year, 4 years, 8 years, but it's pretty close. And I began trading crypto like everyone else, like thinking, okay, this is going to be the next big thing. Then you realize it's not that way, and at the beginning you think you're like the best trader in the world, and you start to lose money. You don't get like proper risk management. I remember at that time it's like, okay, if I earn this percentage, what happens if I leverage? I earn twice or 5x, so no risk management at all. I didn't know anything back then, so you could imagine how it ended. I lost a pretty big amount of money back then. It was a lot for me back then. So I started like at that moment. I always tell people it's like you got two options. Either you take a lesson and you keep going and you try to be better, or you quit. It's like a big hit, and it's like, okay, I quit, and I didn't want to quit, and so I just told to myself, okay, if there's people that can live of this, I can do it too. I just need to work harder and learn from my
Exactly.
mistakes. And crypto price action wise, like I began trading with indicators, and so I started evolving to more like price action. It's not because I always tell it's not better. It's just the way I trade now. But mainly I improved on risk management, and yes, mainly price action difference. I would say, in my opinion, is like Forex tend to chase more liquidity, more like breaking highs and lows, etc. Crypto is more like it respects, I believe, more like order block. We can enter after that into details, but yeah, it's a little bit different. But you just need to find your how you want to trade, what's the best way for you to trade, and don't try to copy others. That's a bad idea. And yes, some people just feel more comfortable trading one thing and other another. There's no better or worse. It's just what better suits you, in my opinion.
Exactly. I can relate to that because a lot of new traders are trying to copy paste someone else's strategy, but it never ends up well because what makes a strategy is that person's mentality, psychology, and overall the technical strategy, right? So it's not going to work for anyone else necessarily. What I want to ask you is you've been trading for 4 years, and it's been quite a journey because you also switched a few markets. And can you tell us, like, at what point have you reached profitability? I know, like, it's a term that can differ for every person. Like, someone may earn like three figures and call it profitability. That's fine because it's their journey. Someone call like wins four figures, makes five figures or seven figures, and calls it profitability. But for you, whatever the definition of profitability is for you, how long it take you to reach that point?
I'd say around 2 years, yeah, around 2 years to be like consistent profitable. I mean, for now, it's been like over a year in which every month, without exception, I've got at least one payout. And the moment that I really felt things really change was when I started like to question everything that was around. What do I mean by that? For example, a lot of traders, they want to try to predict the future. I don't try to predict the future. I mean, my guess is as good as yours when it comes to price prediction, but I try to focus more on react. That meaning, if someone tells me, okay, you need to risk 1%, I always ask why. Why one? Why two? Why 0.5? Why do you trade like ICT? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? I question everything, and I tried everything. And I started to think more about, okay, I'm not trying to predict what the price is going to do, but it's rather more like if X happens, then Y, It's
Yeah.
more like a probabilistic and mathematical approach rather than more, okay, just there is a liquidity sweep at this time, so I expect this and take that. That's the big mindset, and it's purely psychological, in my opinion. That when I changed that, I really started to see great results.
That's perfect. I'm glad you mentioned the mentality part of trading because I was also going to ask you. But let's first start with your payouts because my question drives from these payouts. Okay. So your first payout was from November 2003 in Funding Pips, actually. And then you've had many other payouts over like four figures, five figures sometimes, and they're all at the same level. Like you stop at 10K, I think. Maybe that's your limit you put yourself, and then you request your payout. I think that's perfect because the consistency of these payouts tell me that you have some kind of plan in your head, and then you're following it, and then you're just requesting your payout and do whatever the market does next, and then you just keep going. So that's my opinion from these payouts. But what do you think have gotten you to this point? You said that your mentality has changed, but how did this change occur to a point that you have withdrew over 85K profit from funding posts?
Yeah, I'd say like always with all those things, there are many things involved with this, but mainly um, it's a switch in mentality.
Yep.
And it's exactly the same that with, for example, with trading, with price action, with how I open trades, it happens exactly the same on on how I just manage the accounts. So okay, so there's no. I always like to tell that there is no like 100% sure in trading. And everyone that says something that is an absolute answer, um, don't listen a lot to him. Even don't listen to me. You just need to build your own idea, but it's just to adapt to yourself. I mean, some people just feel like comfortable trading with some risk, some others with others. So for me, it's mathematical. Okay, so when I reach certain level of a profit, I just stop that account. Okay, it's like okay, this is like a money that allows me to buy X amount of accounts in the future. So I just stop it and I trade other accounts. That's pretty much it. So again, it's like a statistical approach, both in terms of opening trades and closing trades and trading, as well as managing accounts. So how many accounts can I buy with this X amount of accounts? Okay, so I just need to keep going and trade with other accounts while I wait just for the payout because you guys pay really quick. So it's just like be patient. You don't need to rush it. You don't need to. This is not something to show off in social media or anything. What really matters in the end of the day is how much money you get. So that's the only important thing. So don't try to over leverage and try to get like the biggest payout because again psychologically it may affect you and in the end you're not gonna reach any amount of profitability or at least it's not going to be sustainable and you know something that you get on a monthly basis, which is like probably the what everyone wants and what makes your mind feel the most comfortable because you know that hey, if you do it once, maybe it's luck. If you do it twice, it can also be luck. But when you do it month over month and you get payout after payout, that gives you uh, um, a trust in yourself that also helps a lot in trading wise.
Exactly. It builds so much confidence. And honestly, what we perceive of ourselves becomes the reality. You know, like if you really identify yourself as a successful or a consistent trader, you tend to be more consistent because you don't want to break the pattern, right? I think that's why most successful people keep being successful and most losing traders, or let's just say unprofitable traders yet, but they will be if they keep working. And the reason is that they have this belief that they will keep failing in the future too. This trade will fail, that trade will fail. Like 2 trades later, they'll fail, because when we see consistency in terms of losing or winning, it really does become the reality of our trading journey. But that's just my belief, of course. But when you talk like that, I'm just really curious about how you approach the markets. So, would you be showing us a few trades that you took so that we can understand how you look at the markets?
Yeah, sure, sure. Happy to share. Yeah. Okay. So, for example, here is
Interesting chart. I like 2 charts
yeah,
together.
it's not the typical chart, so I'll explain a little bit. Okay. So,
Okay.
again, I can here again what I told before. I can show you exactly what I do, but it doesn't mean it's the best way or it's the only way of doing things. Okay,
Yeah.
you. I mean, we're not the same. We don't trade the same hours. We don't have the same capital, the same experience. You may be more experienced than me. Maybe I feel way better risking more or less or trade different ways. So I always tell people, don't try to copy. You just need to get your stats, and every time, like psychological, a tip that I can give is like the best way to feel like you can control yourself. And I'm not gonna lie, I also like have a lot of drawdowns, and a lot of times I also fail many trades in a row. I mean, it's not like you're going to even if you're a profitable, consistent trader, doesn't mean you get every trade right. Not at all. That everyone that says that he's just lying. Okay, so just get your stats, get what you really feel comfortable with, and then start to trade it over and over again, but in a statistical way. So here is an example of a trade that I took on one of my accounts. And just to explain it real quick, here the candles, white and black candles are like US dollar, Swiss franc, and here in green and red we got the DXY, we got the dollar. So how do I trade? Mainly two things. I always tell the same. You don't really need to go for big plays or 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah.
If you just pick up like a price at whatever point you're picking up, let's just say you got 50% of getting a take profit or a stop. If you follow your rules, you don't make anything wrong. It's just part of the game. You just need to get used to get a lot of stop. It's part of our game, right? So
Yeah.
once you start to understand that you got close to 50%, you just need to add 1 or 2 edges, and that's it. And you need just to repeat it. So for example, here what I trade mainly is DXY, and I look into a DXY bias. So for example, here, let's say, and I didn't get it wrong, but the trade did well actually. But here DXY, it's going down, right? I believed that DXY was going to go up, so I was looking into longs for a pair that it's like in the same direction as DXY, or a pair that it's in the opposite direction of DXY as a short, like let's say euro, pound, or Australian dollar, for example. I
Yep.
trade almost every forex pair you could imagine. Well, mainly euro, pound, Australian dollar, and then the USD GPY, USD CAD, and USD Swiss franc. Okay, so here we can see like how the XY is going down, and here mainly you can see here it makes like here's like there's a gap, but it starts making lower lows. You see here, you know. But here, what I try is, okay, I got that the bias for the DXY. The second thing, I just look into two things, is a divergence. So for example, here I can see that this low of the USD Swiss franc is not being taken, and here you can see like this low has already been taken. So you can see like a big divergence here, how the XY is going like more like in a downtrend, and USD Swiss franc is going more in an uptrend. So it shows me like, okay, this pair has strength. So how do I trade it? Mainly it's pretty discretional. I'm sorry, I would like to say this is like something really easy to follow or to copy, but I just look whenever it like there's like divergence in the lows or in the highs, and I got like the direction clear, the bias clear for the XY, I just enter. I don't doubt myself. I just know that that's the edge, and yeah, like I'm looking, probably I don't remember exactly this trade, but probably I was looking into this high. So I adapt the stop. A lot of times I set up like the take profit even before the stop loss. So for example, if I take a 2 to 1 like trade, I may do something like this. Okay, I may just put like the take profit whenever I want, and whatever I want, and just adapt the stop loss just for it to make it 2 to 1.
Yeah.
This is an example, and also like just to show another one. I got here British pound against the US dollar, and here down here, maybe it's easier to see. We got the DXY inverted. So for example, here, if DXY is going down, it means it's going up. Okay. So here, what I'm looking to is pretty much the same. Okay, here's a low, here's a low, here's a low, and here you can see the XY, how it's going. So this shows me strength in the GBP pair. Okay, so most of the times I just, again, whenever I'm looking into the computer, so maybe you cannot replicate this. I just look maybe for a high, or maybe to a trouble area that I want like the price to go, and I just adapt the stop. What's my mainly RR trade? It depends. Sometimes it's 2 to 1. It never tends to go over 3 to 1. It's most of the times between 1.5 and 3. It depends on the phase. It depends on how secure I feel about the trade. So yeah, as you can see, it's like pretty discretional trading, which, by the way, I don't recommend. I always recommend people to do like the easiest way for them. Just pick up maybe a pair or two. Just find an edge and repeat it. Find an edge that you have um, back tested and forward tested. You've got like statistics that can show to you that you're profitable with that, and just repeat it. And then when you've got like experience trading and you feel comfortable, you can start to be like more discretional, and start to trade a little bit more, maybe aggressive, or changing a little bit the style depending on the day of the week, the hour, maybe how you see a pair or another one. But that's pretty much how it goes.
I understand that. And I'm glad you also mentioned that this is what works for you. But for someone else, something else might work. Or even if you tell someone your strategy step by step and like to the exact point, someone else will always fail because they don't possess your mind yet. Like it comes with experience, it comes with the edge. So I definitely understand what you mean. And I also wanted to like highlight this part of your speech too, because what you said makes quite a sense, and I think it's important. It's really impressive for me to see that you're trading a couple of pairs, not a couple of pairs, a lot of pairs, from what you said,
Yeah.
because on social media, like we have tons of different kinds of traders, right? Some say like trade only one pair, trade just a few pairs. And you're saying I'm trading a lot of pairs, and from what we can see from your payouts, you're pretty successful, right? You are definitely consistent. You withdrew over 85K, and that's only from funding preps, right? And it's going amazing for you. So,
Yeah.
how can, like, my question to you, so that the audience can also benefit from this, how can other traders decide if trading multiple pairs or one pair will be good for them or not? Like, how did you come to that realization?
Uh, Trial and
Experience, I
error.
know,
Right.
experience, but
Look, exactly experience. But I always, sometimes like people ask me for help, and I always tell the same. It's like, okay, how do you feel the most comfortable? Because for example, you need to like to I always, I'm the kind of guy that thinks that you need to bet double on your strengths. So for example, my strength is I don't doubt. I don't really feel anything when I get a stop loss. So and I can control many pairs because I've practiced this a lot. But I've helped people that uh, what I've told them, and it has helped them to get payouts, many payouts when they didn't even have one before, and they trade completely different. But the point is, um, just you just said it. People say just trade one pair, and I said I trade many pairs. The correct answer is you need to try it. I mean, because everyone is different. I could say, oh, this is the way, but I couldn't. I don't know. Maybe with one pair, I mean, I think I could be profitable, but I can assure you that not as much, but
Yeah,
not even close. I'm because one of my edges is like the divergence between pairs. But for maybe someone else, that could be something that messes them up a little bit, and it's a little bit uncomfortable, and it can make them take decisions that are not the best ones for them. So I'd say that you need to don't I mean, listen to everyone, but don't take it for granted, and
yeah,
you need to back test and forward test it, and just get your stats, get your you need to face the market, knowing what's your win rate, what's your R that you need to look into, what's the exact strategy that you need to do, meaning that it needs to happen X, Y, Z before opening a trade, whatever. But that's what I
exactly.
always tell people: just get your rules straight. Don't get mad if you feel like you cannot handle like many stop losses. Just don't go for that big our trades. Maybe it's just 1 to 1, and you get like a 62% of winning rate, and that's it for you. Then you're profitable. You just need to do it over and over and over again, and just do whatever you think it makes you more comfortable trading, and makes you more um, make less mistakes, and especially like psychologically makes you feel way better trading them. Yeah, that's what I would.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more with you on this. It takes a lot of time to build the edge because, like you said, it takes a lot of back testing, a lot of forward testing, a lot of data. Like and a lot of analyzing your data. And I think these are quite good points. And once since you're at it, like my last question to you was actually your advices to other traders. So let's just continue with that.
Mhm.
You obviously have so much experience by now, over 4 years in the markets, and different markets actually, from stocks to crypto to forex. It's a lot of experience. So, what advice would you give to other traders out there who are just starting this journey or who have been in this journey for quite a long time but couldn't be profitable yet?
First thing, don't give up. That's the main one. Literally, like this happens. It looks like it happens overnight, because you can spend months losing account after account, and you don't get to see the results. But there's one moment that it just clicks,
Yeah,
and whenever it clicks, don't change anything. Don't look into new ways. Don't listen to anybody. Just do it over and over and over and over again, and just work hard. I mean, this is like something that when you got it, it's not a big deal. I spend like maybe around 15, 20, 30 minutes maximum per day in the graphs. But to get there, you need to work, and you need to work hard. I mean, if you want to be like in the 1% of the world, if you work like the 99%, statistically, again, same as with trading, statistics are not in your favor. So uh, make it so that statistics are in your favor. Don't give up. You need to work really, really hard, and listen to everyone, what's their opinion, but don't take it for granted. Try it yourself. And uh, nothing in trading is exactly how they say. Just because someone says, okay, you don't need to trade with indicators, doesn't mean you need to do that. No, try it. There are people that are like consistent, profitable with indicators.
exactly.
So just like open minded, try it, make it work for you, and just repeat it over. Trading, it becomes a little bit boring after that, but together it's tough. So don't give up, and yeah, good luck. You can do it.
Wow, these are actually quite good advices. Because the thing you said about um, you may be trading for a long time, maybe for years, right? And at one point it clicks, and once it clicks, it really clicks. And this reminds me of a theory actually, which actually states that success is not a linear upwards line through time. It doesn't go like this, but rather it goes like this. So, what you're saying is that you can be unsuccessful for quite some time, and then after so fast, you can be so successful because the momentum actually keeps going up with the experience. So, I definitely agree with you on this, and that was a killer advice. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ignacio, for joining this interview. I enjoyed it a lot, and I actually got inspired from your consistency and your mentality. It's such a consistent trader's mentality, like
Yeah.
if any of you guys watching this interview have watched other interviews as well, you will also see that successful traders always like highlight the same things. Obviously, there are a lot of differences, different variables too, but a couple of things they're always in common: their mentality, how they're patient, how they are consistent about like following their strategy no matter what, and how they're building a data out of back tests. So I really enjoyed this a lot, and thank you for joining this interview.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. And if you allow me, just one last thing is
Of
like
course.
even me, sometimes I skip my rules. So don't be too hard on yourself. We are not machines. We are not perfect. Everyone. The only mistake for me in trading is skipping your rules, and I sometimes do it. So don't be too hard on yourself. And as you said, life is like any pair you trade. You can be in a range. It can go down, but eventually it can also go up. So just look into like the overall trend, and when price goes down and getting stop loss is part of the game. Just keep going.
Exactly. Exactly. I love that. It's a nice way to put things in perspective, and because when someone becomes a trader, or like a, let's say, devoted trader, not profitable or unprofitable yet, everything seems like trading related, right? Everything in life. Okay, I want to buy this computer. Okay, how much like risk to ratio of a trade I should win? How much I should make? Or is this building and in an upward trend? Something like that. Everything
Yeah.
seems trading related. I get that. And but sometimes it's not always about like following the system and everything, because even if you do follow your system, you'll get losses, and that's fine. Don't be harsh on yourself. Just follow the statistics of your backtest, and sure, you'll be fine. Thanks everyone who has watched this interview. We appreciate you a lot, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Thanks everyone. Thank you for inviting me.